This episode of Speakers of Eidolon is made possible by our generous patrons, like Scry de la Rosa, Omega Cat Comet, Stray Cypher, Hans Grenade, Anna Ginterace, Bob CC, Faris Gentoru, Cletus Oreo, Luke Leonatrell, Sapa Chakwatol, Courtney, Meili Algren, Ariana Barakil, Elim, Casey Schaefer, Lily Black, Chaitin, Chesha Saltiri, Ariel, Erisu Yamakawa, Sasirful Alerifu, Daimos, Jim Yasur, Azuta Starbreeze, Umbrelwind, Quick Levin, Gamelord Geek, Sayuri Snowfall, and Mr. Glaive. Support the show and become a patron today at patreon.com/SpeakersXIV. Thank you.
This is Speakers of Eidolon.
Good evening, Aerosians. Welcome to Speakers of Eidolon, episode 134. I'm Lakeel Bravestone, and I'm joined today by Rollodes and my love Anadar.
Ooh, happy birthday, Rollo!
Happy birthday, Rollo! Woo! Wait, I have a sound effect for you. Here we go. Here, everyone's. Happy birthday, Rollo! Wow!
Wow!
A bit much, but there you go.
I'm an old man.
You're an old man. Your time, you've also started using an iPad, didn't you? So we're old people together now. You don't have it?
Yeah, I have.
You're old now, Rollo. You're supposed to have it.
Get it. I'm gonna get my. Oh, I actually have my fucking like old man sweater on. I just realized.
Oh my god, you were like dressed for it. Oh
wow!
I know. Okay. iPad.
Where's this damn thing?
Oh, sweetie, where's the iPad?
I hope you're wearing. Okay, good.
Yeah, I'm wearing pants. Don't worry.
Cool.
Here I got my.
There you go. We're complete now. Welcome to episode 134. It's March 16th, 2019. In this episode, our main focus is going to be FanFest, because FanFest is like 6 days away.
Next week.
Soon.
It's incredible. It feels like we've waited for so long, and now it feels like there's not enough time to prepare. It's weird. We'll get the full trailer and everything, so I am very hyped. We're going to talk about that and give our predictions, hype each other up a bit, and then continuing the hype, we are going to put our tinfoil hats on and continue the conversation about the Crystal Tower theory. Like, we're going to discuss the Crystal Tower theory more. We're going to read some comments from the last week's episode, and then at the end we'll read some MogMail, and some of the MogMail relates to what we're going to talk about in this episode, but also some other stuff. So we'll read your MogMail.
Okay.
Don't worry about it. Also remember to stay tuned for the post show. There's nothing really planned for it.
Woo!
So, hey!
Nothing's been planned ever.
Yeah, for the post show, it's still gonna be just a chill hour of winding down and whatever. And then we can actually discuss together with the viewers what to do with the post show in the future. Because honestly, we can't really think of any good thing to do with it anymore, other than premiering content when it premieres and then discussing that. But yeah, we'll let's talk about it in the post show. That's right after this if you're watching live.
Okay.
Now it's time for recent events. That's perfect that I did that. Right. Final Fantasy XIV Steam version is implementing a restricted login process. This was announced on March 8th, and a lot of people were really annoyed by this. Apparently, it was possible to open 14, the 14 client, without going through Steam. Sort of effectively making it, like a standalone client. Like I don't use the Steam version, which is just you just click the button, game starts. So they posted an official announcement on the 8th, and it went as follows. In order to align closely with Steam policies, we plan to implement a restricted login check process for Steam service account users. And that's for the 14 Steam version. And currently, the Final Fantasy XIV Steam version clients can currently be opened directly without going through the Steam application, and is possible to use the regular Windows version client application for Steam version service accounts. Now, after the change that they're supposed to implement for Steam version service accounts, the Final Fantasy XIV client application will need to be started up from the Steam application's play button. Any other method of direct startup will no longer be available. And that would, it was estimated to be implemented in late March. But on March 13th, 2019, an update was posted to this, where they say that due to a confirmed bug, implementation that was tentatively scheduled for late March will now be delayed until April or after. We will let you know as soon as a date is confirmed. We thank you for understanding and your cooperation. Why?
What's the big deal, though?
Yeah.
I guess it's like Steam policy type thing. It's like, oh, it's going to be a Steam. You can't just open up the exe and do it.
Yeah, but why? Who cares?
It is a little strange, but I guess it's just
DRM stuff.
Maybe, I guess.
Do you still not just have to buy the expansions and stuff on Steam, though?
Yeah.
Surely the account process logs it as
and
a
you
Steam
still need a
version,
sub to begin with, so the DRM is kind of pointless. The sub is the DRM, kind of.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just Steam being weird with... Because I always think it's weird that when you start a game in Steam, you get an additional... Because you still have to log in. You still get the... When you launch it on Steam, you get like the login thing. It's kind of weird. But yeah, I know that Steam has been pretty much a nightmare for 14. I think it's way better now, but this is a bit of a step back, I think. But what can you do?
Don't buy it on Steam anymore. just get the standalone version, unless it's on sale.
Oh, so they can track active users? Okay, that would make some sense, I guess.
That's fair.
Yeah, because I'm assuming if you launch it directly from the desktop, would you not like get the Steam overlay? Or, no, you wouldn't, would you? It wouldn't show you on Steam either playing it. I guess that's why. Anyway, moving on to the next one. Final Fantasy XIV is coming to PAX East. Oh god, I just burped. Right off the heels of the fan festival in Tokyo, Final Fantasy XIV flies to Boston for PAX East 2019. So that is on March 28th through Sunday, March 31st. And it opens on at 10 a.m. And ends at 6 p.m. EDT. That's the expo hall hours. And it will feature the Seiryu Battle Challenge. They also bring the Aetheryte with them. The same Aetheryte they brought to the fan fests. The Kugane-themed Aetheryte that appeared at the fan festival in Las Vegas and Paris will also be at PAX East. The Aetheryte will be located near the main entrance lobby before entering the expo hall. You can also play the Gold Saucer Cactpot Party board game. It will make its on-sale debut at the Square Enix merchandise booth located next to us on the show floor. We'll also have some stations set up so that adventurers can try their hand or a few at the game before they buy. That would be interesting. I'm very curious about that game, like how it plays.
Yeah.
The board game?
Yeah. Because the board kind of makes no sense to me, but...
yeah, it's really... It looks like Mancala, almost.
Yeah, kind of, It's a weird... It's very small, a very small board. They're also giving away foam Dark Knight swords at the booth, so be sure to grab one to showcase your excitement for the upcoming expansion. They did the same thing with which weapons were those? I remember there were like red foam weapons for Stormblood. Was it katanas? Or no, they were monk. I can't remember now. Was it Red Mage? I can't remember. There was some sort of foam weapon they used there. They gave away. We're also pleased to say that all PAX East attendees will be able to grab a 14 theme lanyard for their badge.
Wow, a lanyard.
Yeah.
Let's meet up in Boston for PAX.
The only problem I have with the sword, and it's kind of the same thing they had with the sword the last time they gave out foam swords, is that it says Final Fantasy XIV Online on it, and it says play now 14 -freetrial.com.
Yeah, that
on
kind
the
of
other
ruins
side.
it as a trinket.
Yeah, a foam sword is ugly to begin with, but it would be a fun little promo item to have in your collection. But then it's like got ads on it on the back side. I don't know. For video viewers, this is what it looks like. It's just a purple sword.
Let's hit each other with it.
Hell
In
yeah.
front of the lobby.
I'll hit you
in
with my
packs.
purple sword. Yoshi P, next from the dev blog, Yoshi P posted a Valentine's message. Well, he didn't. I think, did he post? Yeah, he did post it on the dev blog, but it was in Japanese, so we got the English one here. Is Valentine's on a different day in Japan?
No, but they
Or is
follow
this
it
just
with White
delayed?
Day, or like a couple days after.
Right. They have an additional day?
One is where girls give boys chocolate, the other is where boys give girls chocolate. It's very
Oh.
weird. It doesn't make any sense.
That's strange.
I didn't get any chocolates. That's fucked up.
Well, Square Enix certainly did.
Yeah, they got plenty.
So it goes as follows. Hello, everyone. And again, I love that this is just how he starts every message. Hello, everyone. This is Naoki Yoshida, producer and director of Final Fantasy XIV. That's his line. Today is White Day in Japan, a day where we return our favors to those who sent us gifts on Valentine's Day. As such, I'd like to dedicate today's post as a thank you for all the Valentine's Day gifts that we received on behalf of the characters that appear in Final Fantasy XIV. We wanted you to hear the characters' joyous voices again, as we did last year, but the development team is currently entering the final phase of production for the upcoming expansion, Shadowbringers. As bittersweet as it may be, our duty is to deliver the feelings of your beloved characters in the form of a new adventure and story. And so this day, I'd like to personally provide you with a quick look at the heartwarming gifts we received for Valentine's Day. And we're gonna have to describe these pictures mostly for our audio listeners.
Row after row of boxes of very nice looking chocolate.
It is basically just row after row. They're boxes with, well, there we go. Well,
old man iPad.
Don't touch the screen. Yeah, it's
Don't
just
swipe left on my pictures, Grandpa. No, you're gonna see.
they need a okay, well, it's fine. We're good. First, take a look at this mountain of chocolates and other sweets. We received so many that we weren't able to fit them all in one booth. So this isn't even a full representation of the sweets we received. Many of these presents also came with beautiful letters. Do you think, out of all of these, one of them has a poo in them?
I doubt it.
Just a little poo, just a small poo, just like it looks like a nice, really nice box, and they open like.
I mean, that would be a real kick in the teeth.
I feel like if I were
Think about it.
People sent me.
Think about it. Many of these presents also came with beautiful letters. Thanks to the efforts of the project management team, letters addressed to specific characters were labeled with a sticky note, so the development team would be able to personally take a look at those.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so there's some more pictures of boxes. There's actually, some of these are like really nice chocolates. This is like, some of these are not like cheap Valentine's Day chocolates.
No, they're very high quality.
Yeah, they've got like those nice premium wrappers.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
they've got like little doilies in them.
Yeah. So some of these
Dear
probably
Moon Breeder, I got you these chocolates. Please give me some back.
Yeah. Gifts that were addressed to the development team were placed in a separate area. We also received many heartwarming letters, and our members had smiles on their faces as they stopped by this table to read them in their spare time.
The members had smiles.
A number of them teared up as they were reading. For their sake, let's pretend I didn't see them, because crying is for pussies! Okay, here's some more. There's some more pictures of the chocolate. Again, they look really nice. Yeah.
Only 6 chocolates in that one.
Yeah, look at this.
But they probably taste
just the amount of chocolate is there's a lot.
So much chocolate.
There's so much chocolate.
Where's my chocolate, guys? Huh?
Yeah.
Where's my chocolate?
There's some more. There's some pictures of the boxes. They're just nicely wrapped boxes.
Wow, that's so ornate. Can you just? Is there an address that we can just send gifts to Square Enix? Apparently,
I want
just give out.
I want to just send like Lutefisk to Yoshida. Yeah.
Where's our PO box for like candy?
It would be
I
so
want Reese's,
difficult,
dude.
We need like one PO box for each
Yeah.
member. A large number of heartfelt gifts were addressed to our characters. We made sure that the messages were shared to be read by both the scenario writers and the development team. Of the various characters that received personal gifts, I was personally intrigued that Papa Shan and Teleji Adeleji received letters from different groups of people. Are Elder Lalafell characters unexpectedly popular? I found it humorous that the letters to Teleji Adeleji were split between those that were addressed to Mr. Teleji and those that were addressed to Mr. Adeleji. They couldn't decide like which one.
If any of them are going to have a poo, it's the one for Teleji Adeleji.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you for the truly wonderful Valentine's Day gifts again this year. Though we delivered your affections to the characters, the sweets were shared by the members of the development team. The battle over them was quite a sight. Our team will continue working with a renewed sense of vigor and determination to bring you all a truly amazing experience in Shadowbringers. Final Fantasy XIV producer and director Naoki Yoshida.
He starts it and ends it with that.
Yeah.
He's right. What Christopher said was right.
What?
He was split
Oh, clever. Clever. Right, yeah, that was cute. I don't know how you send stuff to Yoshi P, or sorry, the dev thing, but that's cute. It looks like it's mostly Japanese, though. The letters,
I'm
anyway.
going to send them a bueno to Anse.
Yeah. Can someone send me a white bueno? I've never had one.
Is that like
Give me your
white chocolate or
address.
something?
Yeah.
Give me your address and I'll send it.
Okay, I'll give it to you. It's 4332 Big Bowl Avenue. Okay, let's talk about FanFest.
Yeah!
It's coming. 6 days away as of recording this, which means it'll be 4 days away when this episode goes up on YouTube.
And it will be in the past by the time you bother to watch it. Because who cares? Carry on.
Okay.
You suck. Okay, let's talk about it, because it's coming. It's in Tokyo, Japan this year, and we've said this, we're going to cover all of it. Well, except for the cosplay part, because it's so late. It would have been covered if it hadn't been for the fact that there's like an hour and a half break, and then the cosplay contest, which means like for me, the contest would start at like 9 a.m. and end at 11 a.m. And I would have been awake then, since like, you know, the stream would have started at midnight for me. That's a no-go for me. So we'll be streaming it until the end of the, I think the last on the first day is the dev pack. No, it's Naoki's room, which ends at 6 a.m. my time. So it's going to be a long weekend.
It's going to be the Kingdom Hearts boys covering that.
Yeah. Mela might be in the earlier.
I might stay for the
keynote.
FanFest keynote, but the rubbish.
That's oof.
Yeah.
It's still going to be rough for you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know. Can I just confirm, because I'm still confused about it? 3 hours before the keynote, what day is it? For me, it's Friday, right?
Yes.
Okay. I just need to know what night it is.
It's correct. It's on the 23rd. The 24th would be... No, wait. No, it's on the... No.
Okay.
The day before... Okay. 23rd is when it starts. Like, after midnight, 23rd. Before midnight, 22.
Yes.
Before the stream starts, it's 22.
Okay, yeah. Good.
This is really... You could have just moved it 1 hour back or forward, Yoshi P, and it would have been easier for us. I hate it when it's on like midnight, because the day is like, okay, are we now? Which day is it again? Anyways, by the way, the podcast episode will not air on Saturday. It'll air on Sunday, just like we did last time.
And the time before that.
Yes, and the time before that, like every FanFest, it'll be on Sunday, so there will not be a regular episode on Saturday. There might just be a stream on Saturday, I don't know, because there's nothing happening in the day.
Not in the evening.
No, so there's something might happen. Who knows?
Yeah.
Anyways, let's talk about it. What do you think is going to happen? First of all, we're going to see the trailer.
Yep.
It's going to open with a trailer. Do you think it'll be in Japanese or English?
They're using Japanese, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. A lot of people pointed out, though, that the Japanese trailer that we've received so far is lip-synced in English.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I think it might be in English.
Well, what if the Japanese one is so different they didn't even bother working on trying to lip-sync? Maybe those parts aren't even in the Japanese trailer. It's just like they have a completely different trailer. That would have been 100. There's no way they wouldn't have thrown away those assets.
Maybe it's in English and Japanese.
Yeah,
part over the top of each other.
Oh, it's terrible.
I hope it's subbed at least.
Yes, that'd be nice.
But yeah, it's most likely going to be Japanese. I mean, it is in Japan. This is from Japan, so
at least the Gremlins voice won't change.
Yeah, or it could be the other way around, where it is in English with Japanese subs.
I think, yeah, maybe that.
We'll see, I guess.
Why would they do it in English for the first?
Well, because that was the West.
Yeah, but it's so like the whole trailer's built for it.
Yeah, it definitely looks like it. We'll see. When they're in Japan, they tend to be like more Japan friendly, if you know what I'm saying. So they might just do it in Japanese, but we'll see. I guess it's hard to
translate in the Japanese one.
I'm assuming so.
I don't remember.
Last time there was like a feed. They weren't even visible on. I don't think they were even visible on stage.
Uh-huh.
Because it doesn't make sense for the Japanese to wait for a translator to translate it in English, because it's Japan. So last time they would just talk, and then there would be an audio feed on top of it that would speak English. I hope that's how it's done this year. I would assume so. Otherwise, we're fucked.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have a tough time.
I mean, there's usually
I think he's talking about the new job or something.
Yeah.
The Reddit team will be on it. The translation on there. So
there is a separate stream next week for English translation, says AJ. So let's hope that's true.
Well, we're not watching that.
No. We'll just be watching the Japanese one and guess. We'll make guess. Neko. Tori.
Cut that bit as well.
God,
you're gonna have a tough time. No. My God.
Daisuke.
Oh my God. No. Oh my God. Oh.
Mimi. Okay. Okay. Vieira. What happened? What happened to Vieira? What's gonna happen to Vieira? Are we getting the male ones?
Yes. I'm gonna say yes. I'm just gonna say yes.
So
we're gonna get Rothgar and
show male Vieira followed by Rothgar as well, and male and female.
It's very it's
awkward.
I'm almost it is. I don't know what they've done. What have they done? There is I think it's so difficult because why are they being so coy and weird about it? Like, I don't understand that part, but it's also like if it's true that we're also getting male Vieira, what the Rothgar announcement's going to be the strangest thing ever. Are they just going to be like,
unless there has been some sort of lost in translation where like we were saying originally, the male version is the Rothgar or whatever.
Yeah,
it really didn't sound like that from what they were saying. And
no, but
lost in translation. Sorry. Okay.
Yeah, because you remember there were all the things like Vieira, and then they saw the Rothgar in the fast, but it could just be that's how they're called. And then it won't be two new races; it'll just be one race.
No. See, that doesn't make any sense. If you're saying that Rothgar is like a clan of Vieira. Is that what you're saying?
That's just the name for male Vieira.
Well, that doesn't make any sense because it has M and F in the. Remember the leak with the. It had
They might have just been covering themselves.
It listed the races, and they didn't separate the clans, so they were all just like Viera, male, female, stuff. So
and they were just called male and female Viera, like in the lore bits on.
That's true. Yeah, actually, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah,
the boat. Sorry, not the boat.
Oh, the
airship.
Prima Vista.
Yeah.
When you're reading that stuff, they're male and female.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then what the hell's gonna happen?
I don't know.
IDK, man.
That's what I'm the most like. I'm both excited and afraid of. I'm scared that it's just gonna be like, okay, here's Rothgar, and then everyone's like, what? Okay.
Where did this come from?
Yeah, this came out of the but Viera. We were, excuse me, RGP, we were just on Viera right now. What is this? What is this? Where's the male bunnies? I don't know.
What did you think of Hrothgar, by the way?
Yeah, let's, okay, do you want to, let's, just last before, we can talk a lot about Hrothgar. I want to theory craft a little bit with it.
Okay.
But, before we do that, let's just finish the male Viera one. Do you think... Because I run the theory at the time when it was announced before the French flubbed. Do you think the male Viera was made? Sorry, female Viera was made first because of Return to Evilise. They couldn't finish the male. That was our theory at the time, right?
It's a good, because of Fran, basically.
Yeah, Fran was sort of the basis for the female Viera, so they had a lot to go off of. But they don't have anything to go off of on males. No.
Well, here's my hope for male Viera, because female Viera is like a human body with rabbit ears.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hoping the male one is a rabbit body with human ears. It just bounds along.
Yes.
That's why they're not showing it yet. 'Cause they're about potential backlash.
Yeah. I'm hoping for that, but it's still weird that they're not even gonna acknowledge it. It's just gonna be like quiet.
That would be super shitty. Like it would. I'm not like a big stickler for this kind of stuff, I would say, but I think it would disappoint a lot of people.
Oh, 100%.
Because
yeah,
gender-locked races is such like an old MMO thing, or like Korean MMO type thing. Like I don't. No, just put the dudes in.
I mean, we're even getting like angry when gear is gender locked. Like when we get gender locked. I don't know what that tone was. When we even like made a big fuss about the flower crowns being different for each gender. Like this is weird.
It's a mistake to do it.
Yeah.
But then also, I can see why they'd have difficulty because there's no source material for it.
But like, why would you give up then? You could literally make.
Yeah, but then that sort of makes it feel canon for 12's Viera and stuff as well. People think, oh, that's what they're like.
Well, they could talk to Woolhead.
But it might not be.
Woolhead be like, yeah, okay.
He's passed out in a ditch at this hour.
You're right. I don't know. It's weird.
Like I said, I hope it's both. I'm gonna
hope that we're getting a male Viera just for the sake of diversity, so we don't just end up with the Fran race.
Because that would get really tiring seeing them running around.
Yeah, and it'll also be like a constant reminder that this is like the most fan service race we have. There it is. It is the fan service walking around.
I could see him run around all day.
Yeah,
man. I don't know about you.
Anyway, let's talk about Hrothgar. Let's talk about Hrothgar.
I do.
Are you gonna post an update every year, Rollo?
You are the new.
Yep. Still jacking into this video a year later.
Someone start that commitment.
Yeah. So Hrothgar. There is like some actually suggested that maybe Hrothgar are like the dwarves.
No.
What if Hrothgar is dwarf? Remember they are okay. I know this is a weird. Because we haven't seen the dwarfs yet. We haven't seen the dwarfs shown yet, and I thought, At first, I laughed at that theory. I'm like, okay, that's not gonna happen. But then it sounds very like it has that sound to it that it could be like a dwarven race.
Like cold
Hrothgar?
climate.
No, it's like a Nordic type of name.
Yeah.
Yeah, wouldn't it? I mean, dwarves are very northern.
Are they?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Where would you think they came from, Rollo?
If dwarves were real, is that what you're asking me?
Yeah.
Caribbean.
If dwarves were real, they'd be from like Scotland and Ireland.
That's north.
Northern. Yeah.
That's not the same as Nordic.
It's close.
We said northern, not Nordic.
Well, no, I'm saying that it would be more Nordic.
But that's northern as well.
Yeah. Nordic is northern. And Scotland is north. Well, it's not Nordic.
Scotland is full
borderline
Nordic territory.
It is, yeah. It's Vikings roamed Scotland, therefore Nordic
they did,
it is.
I'm just saying that I would.
Dude,
I don't know. Okay.
And also,
never mind.
Nordic.
You can have this one.
Norse mythology is full of words. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, like they're depicted in game though, with like you can't see their face.
Like
glowing
VV.
eyes.
They have like VV.
They're not
faces.
gonna fit in the game. How are you gonna take your helmet off?
Exactly. So they're gonna have to either make them. We don't know if that's how they're gonna look, but you know.
I hope they do.
The name is what's throwing me off, because if we're gonna look at the leaks, which one has to do in this case, because we wouldn't have talked about the leaks if it hadn't been for the French screwing up and revealing a second race.
Yes, that's true.
But I believe that was Blue Fever who had a picture of a lion,
Bunny and a lion or whatever.
Bunny and a lion, and we always assumed that the lion was going to be just the male equivalent. Well, in the worst case scenario, that's what we thought when they didn't announce the female male Vieira. We thought, okay, think about Blue Fever, remember he had a lion, maybe he thought that was, they're so buff that they look like lions or whatever. But then there was that weird other leak where this dude said that we're gonna get Vieira and Barra cats.
Oh yeah.
I don't know how I feel about like the
I'm not ready for like a really anthropomorphic, like a furry race, basically. I'm not ready for that.
Listen, Final Fantasy XIV has to appeal to everybody. Okay, right now we've got like weebs with like cat girls and stuff. We got the big the buff men, you know, and now the buff men is Rogadin, right? And now we're gonna get the furries playing 14 because they're gonna see the Hrothgar and be like, "Ooh, I want to get knotted" or something like that, and it's gonna be an awful time, and everyone's gonna call themselves musky huskies. I'm gonna die.
That sounded personal with the last bit, musky huskies.
Have you never heard of that?
Okay, can we not dive into that?
Do you think they're gonna be like that? What was she called in 9? Freya.
Oh, Freya. Yeah.
She's a bit, she looked more like a rat, to be honest.
She kind of, she was more of a rat face, but I mean, what? Okay, just isn't it weird though that he's saying Barra cats? We already have cats.
But we don't have Barra cats.
We don't have Barra cats.
Yeah. I mean, like, a Mikote is like a cat. A Barra cat would be like a lion. You know?
I suppose so, but I can't really imagine them. Like, would they... Like Yoshi P said, no one wants to play an ugly... they don't want to make ugly races, because no one plays them. Because you want that's Final Fantasy. Everyone looks perfect. That's kind of what Final Fantasy is. That's the brand. So I find it weird that they're gonna make something that, well, I guess just a buff Mikote then.
I mean, it doesn't have to be like. They could be like really handsome. You know what I mean? Like really like
Byakko.
Byakko.
Yeah, like Byakko kind of thing. Like Ikimen, you know?
Yeah.
Like Thundercats. Yeah, it could be like Thundercats. Like that.
I want.
But a cat race called Hrothgar. It's so weird to me.
Cats.
And we also already got a cat. It's a bit boring. We're getting bunnies.
All
and
of the
cats.
races look the same anyway.
Bunnies and cats. Welcome to Eorzea.
People just like races that are animals mixed with people. People love that shit.
Neko.
I like it too.
Neko.
Yeah, when are we gonna get a bird race? When are you going to get the Tory race?
Yeah.
I want to be like the little, like the whatever race Vivi is. Like a
little
eyes.
Yeah. Well, Vivi, that is what how dwarves are pretty much portrayed as in Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
Although they're smaller, they're kind of like there's less black. Like they're just a little thing that they look, and they have beards often. Right, and Vivi's a mammoth. Vivi's a mammoth. I love how the two comments are completely the same. Are you mammoths?
I'm mammoth. Are you?
Yeah. Right. But I don't know. I'm looking forward to seeing it. To see this mysterious race. Yeah. If it is a bar or a cat, or if it's something completely different. Whatever it is, I know that Yoshi P is still probably pissed that we are talking, and that we're even talking about it right now. It's like this was going to be the big one. And the French blew it. Might even be named Rothgar in English.
Yeah,
because they were slightly different. Some of the names.
Yeah,
in French.
Yeah. But also, it's worth mentioning again that in addition to the Vieira having both genders, Rothgar also had both genders in the French one. But that might have just been like a template that they just add. Like every race has that, just regardless if they're male or have both genders. But yeah, we'll have to see. I just think it's weird to release one female race and then one male race. It's a little
but
2003.
It also feels weird to reveal one female race and then the male come and a whole new race.
Yeah, it is weird. It's so weird. The pacing is off. They always do. They just want the JP one to be so spectacular. It'll be like it'll go down in history as the biggest fan fest ever.
Next time they'll reveal like nothing at NA and Europe, and then the last one, the new expansion.
Here's a 10-second clip from the new trailer. That's all we're getting.
Play the Hangman and NA Fan Fest.
You'll get 10 seconds of the trailer, but it's got no voice acting and the music is not finished yet. So here you go.
No. It's going to have scratch audio like that one Impossible movie.
Yeah.
Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
With only where half the sound is missing.
It's just like Foley sound song.
Yeah.
That was funny. Do that. No, don't do that. Don't do that. What about the new job? We know nothing about a new job.
This is the hardest one.
Yeah.
There's always the leak that says
Dancer.
It'll be Dancer. But let's ignore that for right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
What would you want it to be, actually? Well, what would you guys like if it not including Dancer, if it could be literally whatever you wanted?
Well, I would say that I would definitely want it to be a healer. And there aren't many healer classes that aren't very similar to what we already have. That's the thing with healers. Like, usually White Mage has been the go-to healer in most Final Fantasies. Otherwise, there's been like hybrid classes, which we don't really have. I've always been a wanting chemist. For some reason, I just find, because that is so different to what we have now. It's not really magic. Yeah. It's a chemist. You have to but it doesn't work, you know. I realized that would be a little difficult to do.
I could see that working.
I believe Sid actually in a battle, in a MSQ battle, he actually heals you with chemist actions. I think he's throwing different potions at you. So it would be interesting to have sort of like a mixing system, like where you mix kind
of like the ninjutsu for ninja, maybe.
Yeah,
could be like, here are your 3 ingredients, mix them in the middle of combat to get different heals or effects. I guess.
Cool. Yeah, that'd be really cool.
Yeah. That's the only thing I can really think of right now that I would really want. This is chemist, but I don't think we're ever gonna get it. Kind of made sense with the Garlemald theme as well, I thought, but we'll probably not. Garlemald, we're not seeing much of that, huh?
We might. I'm still holding on hope for that.
Yeah,
especially with how close we are getting, like with some of the zones we're getting, the new ones, they're looking pretty close to it. One of them is, at least.
One of them is, yeah. Mala, what do you want?
I would quite like. I know I'm never going to get it because it's basically White Mage now, but I'd like Geomancer.
Yeah.
It's like probably as a DPS, but it could work as a healer maybe. But then it would basically be White Mage. But Geomancer would be cool.
Yeah.
It would be nice if you could. It'd be nice if you could like create like fields on the floor of different elements, and then when you're in those, you could use certain abilities or help party members or something.
That would be cool. And it's not like too far off because again, Geomancers are technically in the game.
They're in the game.
In limited form, of course, because they're mobs in dungeons, but they're there. And it's being referenced, so I know that's also a very popular request for if not this expansion, maybe the next one has them. I feel maybe. Like because that's like of the other classes that remain, Geomancer is pretty high on the list.
Something shape-shifting.
Something shape-shifting.
Yeah, like a shapeshifter.
Kind of like shaman. Is that what it is in WoW? I guess.
A druid. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Then you could have a tank one and a healer one and a DPS one. You never have to play any of the classes.
You just want the skill trees. Get out of here. Get out of here. This is a druid. That's all to say. Skill trees.
What do you want, Ronno?
What do you want? Yeah.
I think someone already said in the chat. I think it was Sequana. But I want a new healer because they need more variety. Because we're already getting a tank. I don't want another DPS. Too many. I'm going to say Songstress. Because we've been on an FFXIV kick. And I think that'd be pretty cool. And I think that'd be doable. I'd like to think.
And it plays like Perform, and you have to get the songs perfect. Like Ocarina of Time.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
That would be really nice, actually. Yeah, like
that's an interesting idea.
It would have a lot of buffs, I assume.
Yeah,
definitely. Yeah, it'd be more of like a buffing one compared to like Astrologian, I guess.
Yeah. We already kind of have a singing class though with Bard, but
we do.
It's. I mean, if we're getting dude. We get dancer and songs. We get a band. We get a fucking performance.
Let's get the band together.
Yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
Where's the clown?
Where's the clown
job?
What kind of?
Like an entertainment.
You know what this show like? We have someone dancing.
Clown.
We have music. I need a clown. Need more clowns.
Need more clowns.
Yeah.
Mime.
Mime could get mime.
Mime. Never forget. It will happen.
What if, dude? Look at my fucking.
You're gonna.
That's the shield skill.
That's the shield.
Box.
Yeah.
You're gonna have a tank buster coming up, and you as a mime tank, you pick up the bricks and you put them in front of you, and there you go, no damage.
It has animations but no visual effects.
Yeah. That's a nice way for them to just not having to design any flashy stuff. But then let's go into the leak, which is I think what most people are now considering to be the next job, which is dancer.
Yeah.
I think it's the most likely as well. It was already high on everyone's list for Stormblood, and they kind of gave us a little fake out on the the Hand of Ra. Gave me a big one. Gave me a big fat one. But
I saw that video recently of you reacting to the trailer with Lonig, and you're like, "Oh my god, we're getting dancer!" And it's just Lise.
Lonigan's face with just did not understand what was happening at all.
What's the dancer?
It's I think.
But what's its weapon gonna be? Like the fan? A fan or something?
Don't they use like like an assassin's dagger? I thought they did stuff like they had like Dancer doesn't
that seemed very Healy of someone with FFXIV.
They need. I can't remember what they used. What did they use in 11 again? They use
was it chakrams maybe?
I'm trying to remember.
Monks sort of used that already.
Whip.
Was it a whip? No, it wouldn't be a whip. Whips, dude. Give us whatever is. What is?
Oh, quiz test. Just give us. Why do you do that?
What?
Hello, everyone. It's me.
Just want to check myself out.
Just wanted to check out. Hi, how are you doing?
Jeez.
Maracas.
Maracas.
Right.
I think I said it before, but like castanets would be really cool.
Yeah.
For a dancer. They're very small and see. But, yeah.
It's a me. Yeah. Looks like a dagger. Was it? Yeah. There's like a knife or something for dancer, right?
Oh wow, yeah. Knives haven't been used for any class. That's not going to get confusing.
Yeah.
Not a single knife.
For God's sake.
You can reuse all the ninja weapons, but you just have a single version.
Yeah.
That'll make it easy.
Dancer in tactics use cloth.
Cloth? That's not going to do much damage.
I mean, you could like wrap someone in it, right?
Beware. I've got
crochet. They
cloth.
Do a crochet for you. I rub cloth on your face. You take 3 points of damage.
I've dipped this in poison. Yeah. It has to be well, I mean, it's up to them to decide what.
God, I can't wait for the Titan weapon of the cloth. Then
it's just a burning rag.
It's gonna be his loincloth.
Titans.
You just rip it off.
Titans
sticky loincloth. My God.
Yeah.
Nasty.
I'm excited to see if we get Dancer, like how it works in 14, because Dancer is a very much like a support healer class. So I don't know how.
It's gonna have all of its skills are gonna be like 6+ second casts, and they're all gonna be dance routines. And if you move, obviously it cancels.
Well, if it's gonna, because obviously they need to dance, so they will need to have.
They'll have to have quite long abilities.
Yeah, but they can make their abilities strong for that, I guess, to counter that.
What if like it's very mobile, and since that they can cast spells while moving or something, they kind of like dance around.
Yeah.
Maybe
they might have like weaker heels. But
maybe they dance when they've got like their weapons out. Like Ninja has its own running animation. Dancer just constantly dancing when weapons are drawn. That would be interesting. Yeah, that's it. Do you think so? We're clearly not getting. Or are we getting a third job?
Yeah, we're just assuming at this point, aren't we?
Mm-hmm.
They said
we've not even got a second job yet, really.
No.
Yeah.
Which again would be like very off balance. Like are they gonna just reveal male Vieira, Rothgar, both genders, and dancer, and surprise third job?
What would you want for a third job? Even like if it was a DPS, like what would you guys?
See. The problem here is that the reason we had the idea of 3 jobs was because of Blue Fever, because he said we're going to get Blue Mage, but that turned out to be a Stormblood job. So I think
some of the language though, when they were talking about some of the jobs on stage, I could have sworn they said multiple. They said multiple jobs are coming, right?
Yeah, but multiple can still mean 2.
It could still be 2, but that could also be 3.
Yeah, but I think they said multiple last time.
They said multiple.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's like a limited job announcement for Shadowbringers. We're getting Beastmaster. He did say that Blue was going to come out before. He did say that it was coming. Yeah. Well, he did say. What did he say?
He said it was off. A bit like Ninja. Yeah.
He said 4.4 or something.
Yeah, wait, then he corrected it when it didn't come out in 4.4. And he said...
No, he disappeared after that.
No, remember he said it was going to be a pre-order bonus. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, that was it.
Which it did not turn out to be. But no, well, I don't know. But I think he just didn't see... He probably saw Blue Mage and knew that it was going to come out, that it was going to be a Stormblood job. But the rest he maybe just guessed. He just guessed, like, how are they going to implement this job? Probably didn't think they would patch him in. Well, he did say that for 4.3 or 4. He said like it's going to be patched in. It didn't happen. But yeah, he was right, but he was just off with his estimate on when it was going to happen.
Yeah.
He's probably not working there anymore.
Hopefully not.
I'm gonna assume.
Maybe he was like a spiteful employee.
Well,
Yeah.
I think he was. By his wording alone, it seemed like he was a bit angry at everyone and just wanted to ruin stuff.
I won't speculate on that. I don't know anything about stuff, so
I don't know anything about stuff either.
Me neither. I don't know shit, dude. If you know anything, don't watch the stream.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Right. So the other part is like the areas. I'm assuming we're going to get to see more areas in this keynote that are coming up in Shadowbringers. So far, we haven't really seen a lot of stuff that looks like it's close to Garlemald, except for that one area, the Greatwood thing, because we know where it is. We know that it's near Dalmasca.
We know it's on the way.
Yeah. It's on the way to Ilsabard. But that's about it that we can like really pinpoint as a location. There's also... we'll talk a little bit more about this in the second part of this, where we talk about in the great discussion. But some of the areas, like not Ilmeg, but the other one, the one with the big crystal wall.
I can't remember
the name of it.
It's in.
Someone tell us, yell at us, please.
Amaran.
There you go. Yeah, Bangarang. I love that Skrillex song.
That can still
Bananarama?
That can still be on the path, on the road to Garlemald, because it could be in the Dalmascan like desert area. It's in the desert area. It looks kind of like a different version of Thanlin. It just looks like a darker Thanlin to me.
It could also be on sort of between Alamigo and Garlemald on that route.
Could be on that way too. Absolutely.
It looks like that one area that's next to the burn. That little. Oh well, it doesn't look like it, but I feel like it should be around there.
Mm-hmm.
That little pathway towards.
Yes.
The Garlemald.
Yeah.
I forgot what it's called.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying. I know where it is. Yes, it could be there.
That's my guess.
Yeah.
If they haven't said it already, I feel like they might have, and I just missed it. But
yeah. We're going to talk a bit more about that crystal wall in the second part. Yeah, I don't know. There's that gnawing question of whether or not Garlemald is going to be like a big place that we can walk around in Shadowbringers. Because Garlemald isn't brought up as much as we expected. It's something that is being brought up now in the MSQ, but it feels like we're kind of leaning more towards not perhaps going there. I'm afraid, Volo. We might go there as a dungeon.
If you had like Garlemald planned for this expansion, wouldn't you want to save that for the very last bit too?
Yeah,
you would not be approaching it like this though. The Deepwood place is, if you look on the map with, when Fran
Guild
put her hand on it and you could see the full map. I'm guessing the bit near that city is the Deepwood place, and then towards Dalmasca is probably the desert area. There's 2 zones still in Arthard.
Yeah.
Little Meg.
We still got 3 more zones.
We know where that one is.
Yeah, he did. He's also been hinting at the fact that we're going to look more at Arthard going forward as well. There are more areas in Arthard that we're going to see. Remember, we covered that interview?
Not more.
Yeah. Well, these might be those areas, though, to be fair, that he talked about. But he did mention Hingashi as well. Something that might be...
So we're going on to the island?
Probably.
Oh, yeah.
Like Koshu, whatever it's called?
Yeah. It's like
and
fully fleshed out on the map.
Dalvalan Grant or whatever that weird mountain thing in the top is.
Yeah. There's a lot of that, like the east side of Arthard we haven't really touched. So it'd be interesting to see.
Yeah. But then I want to go to Garlemald.
We might be a
This is all I've wanted since the game began.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's going to be possible. I think you'll get there.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Yeah.
In this expansion, I'll say that.
Yeah. Right. Is there anything else about the keynote that we're looking forward to? Like, maybe like quality of life stuff, or do you think they're going to talk about the graphical updates if there are any. Do you think there will be any graphical updates this time?
Maybe
They're
some
dropping
more lighting
32-bit
changes.
support.
Yeah.
More lighting changes.
We're not going to get any
my guess.
major overhauls of the engine this time.
Highly doubt it. I would like it.
Yeah, it would be nice.
I'd like some texture improvement.
Yeah.
That's all it really needs, too.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's like my main gripe with 14 is that, like, the texture resolution is really bad sometimes.
Yeah.
Especially when you're flying around and you just see the same repeated texture everywhere on like mountains and stuff. It looks so ugly.
Yeah.
It's like what, 512 by 512 or something, which is
must be.
Some of them are, not all of them, but
yeah, it's very low res, and it's weird because certain outfits that are in game that should be high res are really low res. I will never forgive Amon's hat from Crystal Tower. It is so ugly. It's like you can barely see the pattern on the front of that hat, and that's like everyone wanted that hat, and I'm like, why do you want this hat? Have you looked at it? Have you looked? Amon's hat on the mob is higher res than the one that you get, and he's bigger too, by the way. Is way better than what you're getting as Glamour. There's Raubon's coat, Hian's coat. Those are NPCs. I'm more like, well, you see them in the cutscenes, but like when you get gear, like, oh yeah, this gear is pretty cool, and then you're like, don't look too closely though, look quickly.
I will never forget what they said about the texture thing too, where they said, well, we don't have the original textures because we just painted them at their resolution, I'm guessing, or they had the source file for the texture, downsized it, and then just saved it as that, not keeping an original, which you gotta be lying. That's bad. Like, that's a bad game development pipeline, is it not?
It is. It's
like that. Like you start with a larger thing and go to a smaller thing when you need it, right?
No.
Like,
you do it at the resolution you want it, and then never do it again.
Yeah.
That's how you do Twitch icons too. You draw it at 32 by 32.
Yeah. It's strange. I don't know. It's like they. So what they've basically done is that the only way we can get higher res textures is if they make new textures.
Yeah. But then sometimes they're just like, you say you don't care too much about NPCs, but when the cutscene starts on like zoomed in on Raubon's cloak, it looks
it's
stupid.
Weird. It's like they're not aware of it sometimes. Remember when they showed the book in Return to Evilise? The cover of it is so pixelated you can't even tell what it says. It's strange, and it's like that one thing that I am a little almost embarrassed about in 14 is that sometimes the textures are so bad. It's like, why are they even showing this in this cutscene? This looks bad. But
I've managed to get some really nice little touches on
textures aren't everything. What
physics on your hair and stuff, and then awful textures on your clothes.
It's not PS4 limitations. It's too early to joke about that. We are still in like PS3 limitations area because we haven't really expanded on anything after the PS3 support, really. The UI thing is probably the area where we've developed the most after the PS3 left us.
Remember we couldn't see TP?
Yeah. That was a
weird
thing. Yeah.
Because I feel like you need to see that a lot too. Not as much as mana, but
yeah.
Ugh. Dark days.
Yeah.
Dark times.
Yeah. Some hair textures. Yeah. Hair textures in this game. It's interesting. It's some hair just looks like cardboard.
And I'm not like super into graphics being the best you can all the time. Just
no, but have a care.
Just a little bit more.
Yeah.
A tiny bit.
Yeah. Oh my god.
In first coil.
What? Go on. Oh, the wing.
Yeah.
Which is supposed to be like this magnificent view of the massive wing.
And it's a 512 by 512 texture stretched over like a 14-mile long wing.
Yeah, yeah. I love how they worked so hard on getting TP on the TP part back to the party list just to get rid of TP now. Remember, they worked so hard on getting that on the party list, and now it's going away.
That's true, huh? Hey, at least we get to have like a number now for.
Yes.
What will be the new number, because you don't have numbers for TP bars.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we can't show the number anymore, so
no.
you're gonna work it out.
Yeah. Modders have done a better job. Yes, I've seen
that's
some
unfair, though.
haircuts, but what?
That's unfair because it's one person just making one hairstyle, or a few, you know.
Yeah. They're not gonna. No modders are gonna update the entire text.
Oh, you're right. That's true.
Yeah.
That's
like that. That's like a fan thing they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's not
true.
It's not always the same going through a company.
Okay. Yeah, that's true.
Because it kind of feels like instead of reading a book by the author who's written the whole series, you read like a fan fiction.
Yeah.
It's not. So it's like I don't like it.
Yeah.
I want them to make it better.
That's true.
They're very good modders, though. Everyone in the TT Discord does really good work, by the way.
Yeah. Any quality of life? The Ishgard restoration thing. I wonder if they'll tell us any more about that on the raid. Wait, there's two things. Let's do this piece by piece. So, okay, let's talk about Ishgard restoration. We haven't really seen anything. We haven't heard much about it yet. But
it's gonna be sort of like Doma.
Do you think so?
I guess it would be like that.
It sounds like it's gonna be a little different, though. It sounds like it
more
community driven, maybe. I'm not sure though.
Between it could be like free company workshop, but on a large scale.
Yeah.
A farm. Could you imagine like having a little farm in Corthus? Like once maybe it warms up.
Why in Curthus?
Yeah, maybe it warms up.
But Curthus was farmland back, like
it's frozen
stuff.
now.
Yeah, it's frozen.
Well, I'm
now.
saying, what if it warms up? Or what if you go to the lowlands? Aren't
maybe
they warmer
the lowlands.
The lowlands could be. Yeah, they could have. What if we get the central lowlands? That would have been interesting. They added like a new A Realm Reborn area for this expansion,
and it could be like a small even instance area to be like, hey, this is where you take care of.
Yeah. I mean,
gotta water my crops, dude.
Yeah, I think. Well,
you can already do that.
Ironically, the central lowlands was not exactly used for like farming. That was like logging. But I mean, that's 1.0 lore. They can.
We can make it whatever we want now. It's fine.
Yeah. Also, a lot of people are talking about the housing thing, and I feel like people are like already decided that we're getting housing for Ishgard.
Did they announce they have?
They didn't, but
it feels like they have.
There was a throwaway comment though that sort of for a lot of people confirmed it. They said, people were like, "What do you want in Ishgard or whatever?" And everyone was like, "Housing," and they said, "Maybe repair Ishgard first, then we'll see."
I mean, that's.
And that sort of indicates, that there might be something like that's like the reward that you unlock. That's a very clever way, by the way, of locking away a house.
Yes, it is.
It's like if you want a house, you got to work for it. You have to work. You have to repair Ishgard.
What if Ishgard will become the first instance housing area, to where like you repair it and then you get the house.
That's a nice idea, Ronnie.
I don't want. I don't know. You know how protective I am of the open housing ward.
But you can have this one as an additional house.
They could make it work better. Look at how Ishgard is built. They could get away with like smaller instanced wards, but more of them. For instance, I mean, we already have instance housing in the sense that the wards are instances of they're copies of the same instance. But I don't know. I just like even though we never see our neighbors. Actually, we actually see our neighbors quite often. We have active neighbors.
We walked around the neighbors once, and that was fun.
Yeah, that was fun.
But it's...
it's not something I'll cry over if they make Ishgard instanced only. But I feel like we lose something. Like, that's our unique part of our housing system.
We gain so much more, though.
True.
Maybe you still have to buy the house, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course you
Maybe you still have to you still have to spend money for it. You don't just get the house, I guess.
The only thing I'm worried about with the housing restoration thing, or not the Ishgard restoration thing, is you could easily miss out on it if it's like a community thing that wants.
That's what I'm afraid of.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's not like for patch 4.1. Do as much as you can, and then it'll unlock in 4.2 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
That would be lame.
I just don't think they can do it like that, because if they did that, Ishgard would be in perfect condition for people that start with Heavensward. And that wouldn't make sense, because Heavensward is still under repair, right? So it's not even under repair, it's just broken. They're not even repairing, and they're just doing some maintenance, I guess, on their broken structures. Yeah, they're still in the Dragonsong War. So...
we're going to fix everything.
I feel like it might be more of the Domain restoration, simply because of that. But maybe more advanced.
In which case it kind of isn't. Yeah.
I feel like it's more. There's more. I feel the Domain restoration thing has always felt like, we always said this multiple times, like it feels like a test of something bigger to come. Like it's not quite there. But
I think instead of giving donations and it just hits the 20k, you have to complete recipes and donate them.
Yeah. That would
give us 50 lumber. Whatever.
Yeah.
So like deliveries or something like that, maybe.
Sort of like deliveries, yeah.
Yeah.
But on a huge scale.
Yeah, that'd be nice though, because the Domain restoration felt pretty good, because you could go there as a new player and it would still be, new. To you.
It was well handled, yeah.
And it would be at your own pace.
Yeah.
But you could still see other players there that have already done everything.
Yeah. I'm definitely looking forward to it. And they also mentioned, again, just to touch on the farm thing, because that's a legitimate thing that they also mentioned, like player farms. Was that something they didn't show a slide or anything. They just...
Was that something they confirmed, or was that
they
just another
mentioned
comment?
it. It was a throwaway comment, yeah. In the same vein as the housing thing, I believe.
Because we already have gardening.
Yeah, but they wanted something more involved, wasn't they? When they talked about just farming in general in the game, they wanted something, a better system, I guess.
That's fine, yeah. Because it's not great.
But again, it was not something that was put on a slide, but it does feel like they're doing stuff with crafting and gathering in Shadowbringers. It feels like they want to evolve that system, because that's a system that's been pretty much in a standstill since The Realm Reborn. They only added scripts and some extra timed nodes for gatherers, and that's more or less it, like the folklore stuff. So
you think it's going to be like their endgame thing? Maybe.
Yeah, wasn't that what he called the Ishgardian Restoration to begin with? He called the Ishgardian Restoration endgame for crafters. Yeah. So what if the player farms is endgame for gatherers?
Perfect. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Sure.
Could do it
better than collectibles.
Yeah. Anything with collectibles.
Yeah, I hope it would be.
Yeah.
They could do it kind of like how garrisons were done, in that you sort of have different areas for each gathering job, and then you get nodes every day or something.
Oh yeah, they did mention minions in relating to farming. What Bionic Stash said. Remember that?
Oh,
they talked. Yeah.
But wonder what that was.
Maybe they're like the fairies from Harvest Moon, and they do it for you.
Yeah. You said so. You're a minion on a plot, and he
put a
water can there for you.
I don't know how they will do this though. It's the current gardening system is just you plop some seeds and soil into a square, into a thing. Yeah. You water it, and then it's like Farmville.
Water it once a day.
Yeah, it's like Farmville. Remember that, everyone? Remember Farmville?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I remember.
Melons were the best.
Would invite you.
You come water my cabbage, and I'd be very
I found
happy.
a golden chicken. Please share.
Oh wow. Yeah. Anyway,
you still play Farm?
Is that still a thing that people do? I don't think Farmville exists.
It's on Facebook, guys.
Don't go on Facebook, Rolla. Don't check for Farmville. You're so...
Oh my god! Look, it's my relative saying something racist. Who would have thought? First thing I see on Facebook. It's still up, yeah.
It is? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Right. Let's talk about the raid. The 8-man raid, to be specific. Know nothing about it. They didn't show anything.
Definitely not Macro Reactor anymore, because we're not going there.
What?
Could be the
Oh, the
it's
Mako
definitely
reactor.
not Mako reactor anymore because we're not going there.
Well, no, that could still be in the 8-man.
The Black Rose facility, maybe?
No, that's what we're talking about, Roland. We don't think it'll be there because
24-man.
nothing about the story implies that that's going to happen. Although it would be interesting if it was like a... No, because they couldn't tie it to the raid because it's not MSQ, so there couldn't be anything major like a Mako or Mako. What do we call it Mako for? We don't have Mako energy in.
Well, no, we call it that because whatever.
Yeah, it should be the ceruleum reactor.
That's not as cool.
Yeah, that's the name of our second podcast.
Oh, that's true. I forgot. Yeah, that's right. Okay.
I want to become eco-terrorist and blow up facility.
I think
can't wait for Avalanche to start.
I don't really. I have no idea. There's something about what we're going to talk about later that might be relevant. Maybe something relating to the Crystal Tower would be fun.
Going back
because they would. What if we get Crystal Tower extreme? That's the
But it's it's not even unique. It is the first 4 is Labyrinth, but with 8 people and Circus, and then 100.
We have nothing to go off of.
I mean, they don't always give us hints for 8-mans anyway.
No,
it's
no, true.
Omega. Well, I guess sort of Omega, but
they did drop.
They at least told us what it is.
Yeah, they did.
They told us it was going to be Alex, and they told us every time so far what it will be.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, in game they aren't dropping.
Yeah.
Oh, right, yes.
Because Omega sorry, not Omega. Alexander just you just came in the air. It's oh, what the fuck's that?
Yeah.
Okay, I guess I'm doing that now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have no idea. I can't even think of anything. All I'm thinking about is Mako reactor because we kept saying it, but I don't think that's gonna happen.
What else can it be?
I don't know. And then there's Crystal Tower. That's all I have.
Something to do with Crystal Tower. Something to do with Heidelin.
I don't know. It might just be another disconnected story with something else.
I hope
but
not.
Then again, Omega was still sort of anchored in the main story, if you know what I mean. It was introduced there, so I don't know.
And everyone does it pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Who does the MSQ and doesn't bother going and doing the 8-man normal mode?
The normal mode is so easy too.
Everyone does it.
I know some people don't. I know.
There's so few that it's not. Sorry, but it's not worth catering to you. So.
I mean, it won't be. It doesn't have to be. I don't know. We'll find out soon enough, I guess. But the next day, we'll have the live letter. We might see some more about the story, which we will discuss more in.
Are you joking?
The great what?
For the patch?
Yeah.
Are you joking? 3 days before it's released, he's going to talk about the story.
He's not going to talk about the story. He's not going to be like, this is the story of how... What else is he going to talk about in the live letter?
It's Shadow Rings,
He's had a keynote the day before. And there's a patch the following week. Of course he's going to talk about... What?
It's not going to...
He's going to talk about that, and he's going to talk about Hildebrand and the trial. Yojimbo.
Maybe...
that's all that's coming this patch.
The majority of it, he's going to talk about the new merchandise he's put up and his favorite brand of wine.
The fried chicken.
Fried chicken, yeah.
Fried chicken.
Fried. And World Visit System is going to be mentioned, and the TP-MP merger is going to be mentioned. They're probably going to... No, well, that's probably about it. It's not going to be a very... I say that. We don't know if that's going to be an exciting live letter or not, because the Stormblood is over now. We're getting the last few patches, which...
But we're getting it 3 days after, and we've already talked about the story. We've seen the trailer. We've talked about it.
Mm-hmm.
What more can he say?
Well, he might give us more hints.
Us what happens.
But
it's 3 days away.
Yeah, that's why you hype. This is when you put on the big honk.
In 3 days, you're gonna find out that. Oops.
Myla, I must remind you that all the story stuff is something we've made up. we've guessed all of this, so we don't really know what's coming.
Yeah.
So you're like, oh, we already
it's so
know.
Believable.
Don't forget that that's something like we made it. We made this up together.
I just think so close to the patch seems weird. He'll probably focus on Hildebrand.
Live letters are always done like right before a patch, aren't they?
No.
Like the last one before a patch is usually pretty close to the release of the patch. Am I remembering this wrong? I feel like it is, but anyways, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because I don't know what else he's gonna talk about. He's not gonna talk about Shadowbringers because he talked about that in the keynote.
Why not?
Surely.
He could talk about 5.1. Like, what his plans are.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of it's going to be
finally defeated Heidelin. We're moving on.
I feel like they talked about the when we I can't remember now. They showed off Kugane in engine, didn't they? At some point, was that at the end of the last Stormblood live letter? Remember that?
Wasn't that?
They showed off what?
They showed off Kugane during a live letter once before the release. Stormblood? Yeah, I can't remember
because they were talking about job gauges and stuff as well, weren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they might do that.
That's a pretty big one. Maybe they'll show us something in engine because they obviously they won't do that during the keynote because the keynote is more like formal. It's just slides. But during a live letter, you can actually sit down.
They might have one of those videos where they do, the job action stuff more.
Benchmark. Shouldn't that be released? That was released right after.
Oh, and then we get the character creator.
He might play with the character creator. Yeah, he could play with.
Yeah, because they have released we know all the races at that point, so it makes sense.
Yeah. There's more he can talk about than the patch 3 days after. Yeah, that could be good. Actually, that could be good.
Okay.
Oh, sorry about it so much.
We're used to it.
Yeah. I'm always sleepy, guys.
Yeah.
I got sleepy bitch disease.
Okay. I think that's we're gonna have to wrap that up because we need to move on. God, time is running.
Wow.
It's time for the great discussion, and we are continuing our tinfoil hat extravaganza on the recent revelation that Crystal Tower, or Circus Tower, which is its real name, is going to play a part in the story. Now,
the more we talk about it, the more major it is.
Yeah.
I feel like we're just hyping it up ourselves.
We are doing this now. Yeah. But it's interesting because people have been commenting on the previous episode. We're going to go a little bit over time. It doesn't matter if this bleeds over into the poster. We started late today. And we're gonna read some of these and talk about some of the comments. Chat can join in as well. We'll do it like this. Johnny, let's just start with because again, in the previous episode last week we talked about how in the key art, the person standing on the right side, in the hooded figure, looked like Rahatia, and then we sort of showed all our evidence, and it kind of convinced a lot of people. So this one's from Johnny Jack.
Johnny Jack.
He says the Graha-Tia theory would also explain why Lise hasn't been called, because she's not an Archon. Her sister was. Because the only people that have been called so far are Archons.
Which links to Graha-Tia?
Yeah, he's an Archon too.
Actually interesting.
He has a link with these people in a way. So maybe that's why. Because Lise isn't even she's not being called at all.
No one cares about her.
Totally snubbed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're being called too. But he can't call us for some reason.
We're not really Archon.
Yeah, we're not Archons.
We're just too important. We're super important. Yeah.
Maybe it's because he knows us. I don't know if this is Graha. But it is worth noting that only the Archons, and it's weird because Lise used to be such a big part of the story. She's now slowly just fading away. That might just be it too, that they're just done with us. I'm sorry, with Lise, and they just want her to disappear because she liberated this. I don't know. It's certainly connection there, that they're all Archons. I don't know if it means anything else, but Graha was an Archon. Shruda Wolf says, it sort of explains why the Mordona 1.0 main theme has cropped back up recently. I just want to say that that's not the only thing. Like, a lot of 1.0 music has been used in the MSQ recently. And it's weird because we see the 1.0 stuff in the trailer as well. It's like they want us to remember the stuff from 1.0. Like, this, it's so weird because I don't know why they would want that, but it's maybe just like a callback to like
the
or
just 1.0
storyline.
classic servers are coming up.
Yeah.
It's finally happening, Lukil.
Yeah.
If you need to know more about 1.0, check out our other content. Remnants of a Realm.
Shurida continues with, what if the lunar whale is sealed under the crystal tower?
That's lunar whale?
A lot of people thought the lunar whale was the Void Ark. I remember that. And people saw the Void Ark in the... Because you could see the Void Ark in the overworld. And everyone was like, that's the lunar whale! Turned out to be the Void Ark. I don't know about that, but that would have been cool. The lunar whale is from...
Is that 4?
4? Is it 4? Yeah, it is 4. It's the one that brings us... Is that the one that... That's the moon game. Where the dwarves help us go to the moon, right?
That's 4. Yeah.
That's 4. That would make... I mean, technically, if you view it like that, because we feel like the moon too. Like, there's this moon... We forgot about the moon. While we were away, we forgot about the moon. While everything else happened, we forgot about the moon. But, I don't know. Something's hidden under the Crystal Tower. Now, when we watched the cutscene with Nera, where he throws the scanner into the abyss, it started beeping. Do you think that's still canon? Like, is that still something? Because it's weird that they just left it. But it's been like 5 years since that cutscene was made, and Eureka is something... Because that's the second thing here. What if the stuff under Crystal Tower is Eureka, like it was in 3? They've kind of fucked it up by calling Eureka, like the Isle of Val, Eureka. Well, it's not Eureka either, because it's called the Isle of Val, and Eureka is... I'm not going to spoil the story, but it's something else. Eureka, something else.
So, have they ever retconned anything in-game? Not from 1.0.
Oh, like that's like going in-game?
Yeah, that's
like a Realm Reborn.
Has anything? Because I would say that, like, yeah, it's old enough for it to be like, it could probably be ignored. But has anything ever been ignored or retconned in this game so far? Because I really can't think.
I don't know.
Anything.
I don't think nothing major anyway. They might have like ninja retconned like minor things. But the Dalmasca thing was retconned. They changed it to Nalmasca.
That was right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was for convenience sake, so they could use Dalmasca in the way they're using it now. Yeah, I don't think that any major stuff.
That's still a pretty minor one.
Yeah. I feel like Matoya too is Matoya from 3, or was she from 2, or is she from 1?
3, yeah, I think.
She is 3? Good lord. She's from 1, right. Okay, she's from 1.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
They did retcon Echo, but that was from 1.0.
Yeah. I don't know. It's so weird because underneath Crystal Tower is something that's got all the powerful weapons from the Allegan Empire. And I want to add something that Gangel mentioned the other day, is that the Gremlin, where was the Gremlin introduced in 14? The Lost City of Andapur.
Yeah.
That's where he's been.
And
also B rank in South Shroud.
Another link to Andapur. They also appear, they appear in Gubal, but I mean, you have to consider where they first appear is sort of their origin. That's where they're from, technically. That's a weird link again with Andapur. But I don't think we discussed this briefly today, I think. The Andapuri statues are based on existing creatures from the void, or just from somewhere else? A different shard, was it? I can't remember. That's just from somewhere else, right? Are you hello? is anyone out there? Hello.
I give you a second to think. Gosh.
Yeah, they were. I'm sure they were based on void sent.
Yeah.
Because Mark was sending void at them anyway. So. I feel like they were based on. Yeah.
I don't know. It doesn't matter. I don't think these are stored under the Crystal Tower, because we know that Kiribu and the lion are Amdapori statues that exist within Amdapor. They're locked away in there, and they've somehow been activated in the trailer, and they're doing weird shit. But here's another theory that concerns the areas that we've been shown, and this is a theory that I've heard many times before, is that the sky doesn't really look like the Hydaelyn sky that we're used to, like Ilmeg.
Got shafts of lights.
Yeah, like the one
down like in the trailer. Yeah,
it looks like the Shire. We're just going to
New
J.R.
Zealand.
Tolkien world.
Yeah, and I feel like we're jumping all over the place now, because the theory is like we have like a million ideas now about what everything can be, but Ilmeg doesn't like fit into Hydaelyn. So what if Ilmeg is like on a different shard, which would make this really weird? Like, are we gonna like go to different, just be able to go to different shards on a whim? Is that what's gonna happen? Because
then they would have to make so many zones.
Yeah.
Maybe we are getting more than 6 zones.
Maybe, but surely not that many.
Maybe we get 9.
Yeah. And the reason we're talking about shard hopping is because in the trailer, we didn't really talk about this last week, but there's a shot of the Crystal Tower, which we have now confirmed is the exact same shots and the exact same render as in the A Realm Reborn trailer. But there is one part of this, 10 frame long shot, is a view of the Crystal Tower in the foreground and a tower in the background. And while we're panning up on the foreground tower, the one in the back sort of stands still. So it's kind of trying to make you notice that there are two crystal towers here. And if you think about it, like Twin Dooms, they're talking about like if there are two different like a shard, someone on a different shard is talking to us. Maybe, who knows? We don't know who the voice is. I want it to be Grahatia, but a lot of people are like, it's the Warrior of Darkness, whatever. Could there be 2 crystal towers? Or is it just a metaphor or just a symbol of like 2 different worlds, 2 shards?
Could have been for visual effect, just have a little...
Yeah.
No, everything is done on purpose.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I feel like they're trying... They're either giving us a red herring, they're like making us read too much into it. But it's not a second tower, see? It's the same shot of the Crystal Tower from far away, but they've placed it in the background like a composite with the Crystal Tower in the front as well. It's the same tower. It's the same tower, but from different what's it called? Distances.
Focus.
I don't know if it's. I don't know. I'm very confused, but
I still think it's the Warrior of Darkness doing the voice. By the way, I can't just let you say it's Grahatia.
Why?
Why would Grahatia saying "throw wide the gate so that we may pass"?
He's locked in the tower.
Help him! He got locked out of his house.
The whole point of our theory was that the tower would open a gate between shards.
No, okay,
so
yeah.
The person on the other side.
I am not decided on the voice. The voice is still, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. But Krile is clearly introduced to the story.
Yes.
Because she knows Grahatia, and she is probably going to be the catalyst in the story to just pivot the story towards Crystal Tower. She's going to be like, I don't know, Crystal Tower, I can feel it. I don't know, she's going to get cold, probably, because she's an Archon as well. Let's see if that theory holds. She, I think, because she knows Grahatia, she talks about him in Eureka, and in my perfect view of this, she will be introduced to the story, she'll be called, and she'll be like, I know that voice. and that's the revelation. So like, oh my god, I think it's G'raha Tia. We need to go to the Crystal Tower. But I don't know how they were going to open the gates, because the gates were sealed at the end of the Crystal Tower storyline with the instruction of the gates would be, you could open the gates once you have sort of reached Allegan levels of technology. Like when you've reached that level, you'd be able to open the doors. The doors will open. I don't think, are we there? I don't think we are. We have, it's been like, it hasn't even been a year, I think, in-game in the time bubble.
Trust. 10 levels, 20 levels, so it takes. We're Allegans now.
We're getting gunblades, dude.
Yeah.
So we're in there.
We can take enemy skills now,
dude.
That's like what they do.
Yeah, Brickroad is saying something interesting. Am I mistaken, or has everyone who has been getting called been unable to actually understand what was being said? Yeah, no one's been quoting what's been said, right? No one's been like, wow, a calamity.
They comment about it or something.
That's true.
I don't feel like anyone has said. Did you hear that?
Do they
voice?
only talk about the pain?
No, I think there's an option for you to ask people if they've heard the voice, and they just say no, or something, right? Might be
only
wrong.
the Warrior of Light hears the words. No,
if that's
no, because Alice explicitly states that there's a voice when she's getting called the first time or the second time or whatever. Okay. Alice did mention she heard it. Yoramche said he hears something, but no voice. Does he not say voice? I know that Alice says that there's a voice. So maybe it's just unclear, like people experience it differently. What everyone can say that when after they've been called is that they felt like they were somewhere else. They were not on Hydaelyn or whatever.
But where were they?
But where were they? Cookie Crumbs adds to this, because you briefly mentioned it last episode that the placement of the gunblade for Thancred sort of covered up part of his chest. Yeah,
very well.
So Cookie Crumb says the item that G'raha is wearing that is somewhat hidden beneath Thancred's gunblade and the shade. If you look close enough, you can make out the details of the Sharlayan etherometers that almost every major Archon has. G'raha is also shown to own one of these etheronometers. So the hooded man, being him, has some credit to it. Another thing is that if you compare the Crystal Tower raid series and the Alexander raid series, you get a flashback from Sid about G'raha and Mide. How do you pronounce the name? Mead.
I would say Mead.
Mead. Less relevant. Is this a hint that G'raha Tia is involved? And a stretch, time travel is also involved. There was time travel in Alexander.
I mean, that's what I was going on about. Yeah, he has. I thought he might have a ether goggles, but you can't really make it out. You can't say it definitely is, because
but it is
it's
suspicious.
A little bit of metal.
It's suspicious that the exact point where that would be is covered by the gunblade. I mean, everything is suspicious about that character. It feels like they've hidden like most of the important bits. Like that's the most.
But he's also, because he's right at the back and you don't think about him. Yeah, it's like, did they think we'd go this far? Did they hope we wouldn't?
I think they knew. I think this is very intentional to make us do this.
Yeah, arthritis hands, dude.
It's real. Yeah. Right, pregnant orc. Welcome back.
Thank you, pregnant orc. You defended me once, and I will lay down my life for you.
Harkening back to the old days of the post show when we had comments of the week, we remember this name because of, the name is pregnant orc. Love the speculation, so I'll add to it. Throw open the gate so that we may pass could still be said by Alphino as a way for the Scions who have been soul-napped to return, having us open and use the Crystal Tower to build a metaphorical bridge for them to pass back to our world through. To pass? Okay, yeah. Be prepared for Crystal Tower hard. I still don't think it's Alphino.
I don't, but I can. That's a fine theory.
Yeah. I think
that makes sense in some ways.
Yeah,
it's valid.
But God,
I can't agree with it though.
Are they quick on? I mean, it's Alphino quick on that. It's like, I've been Grow wide.
Also, he's on the cover.
He's also on the cover as normal Alice. It's because it's not his voice. It's not his voice in the English voice. No, it's not his English voice.
It sounds like Albert, is what people say.
Yeah, Albert.
Albert. That's
yeah,
it.
yeah,
Sorry,
yeah.
Albert.
Albert sounds like Albert.
It does sound like Albert. But it could also. I mean, I'm still. It's 50-50 for me. It's either Graha or the Warrior of Darkness. Both make sense in their own right.
But they are Louis Suarez's grandchildren, so they've got connections.
Yeah. They're not Archons. That's true.
That's.
Lisa's not an Archon, but her sister is. Wouldn't that also be? Her sister was. I think someone said that in the chat.
Is he calling people he know though? Maybe he knows all of them. Like, cause he did study at the studium, didn't he? Or he's the student of Baldessians. He might not have met the other. Wait, hold on. So, yeah, because Alphino and Alice, they never went to this. They were never students of Baldessian.
No,
they just went to the studium, didn't they? Yeah. Okay. This is from Tackleberry61. I just watched the cutscenes, and there is even a part where Xande says something about throwing open the gates. And in the art, it looks like Graha Tia's arm looks a lot like how Xande's arm looks in that storyline. Did the Void take Graha's body to put Xande's soul in? Did the Void somehow corrupt Graha, and that's why his body looks messed up? Because it's undoubtable that whoever that person is, there's something wrong with them. There's something coming like up their face, and there's his other one arm that's sort of in the back like covered mostly by Thancred. It looks like withered and weird.
Yeah.
And there's also that pattern on his other arm that looks very much like what Xande had on him.
Yes.
In the Crystal Tower. Sorry, Circus Tower.
It's possible, I suppose.
Because what happened again to Nero? Nero, wasn't it the Void?
Boy.
Yeah, the Void started to tap into his, like, it sucked up his ether, didn't it? It started to like eat at his ether, and that's why
he got slower and heavier and turned crusty.
Yeah.
But then he just was like, no.
Yeah, no, I don't want to be crusty.
Yeah.
And he was fine.
And then he got better.
Yeah. He got better. And I don't think that's the same thing, because Nero looked very weird. He looked very crusty. The person on the poster does not look crusty. He just looks like he's wrong. Something's wrong with this man.
Yeah. But also, then if we're going about, like, because we were once talking about what if Latoya is now in Ishtola's body because she's left it.
Mm-hmm.
What's to say that Graha wasn't called and now Xande's in him?
Ooh.
In the same vein as,
Ooh. That's weird, though. To bring Xande of all people back. Like, I'm a cat boy now.
That'd be another weird threat to have, too.
I mean, he is the most important Allegan, I would say, yeah.
So if you're going to bring back the Allegans, you're going to bring back Xande, aren't you?
That's true. I haven't even considered that. Good God. You've opened another door, Mala. There are too many doors open. There's a draft.
We have too many doors open in the
house. Yeah, I don't know. Good Lord. I think we're just going to read the next one. Because my mind is going a million miles an hour. Okay. Muffle says there's actually 4.4 MSQ that might support this theory. When I'm assuming this is either an autocorrect or whatever, but it says when Y'shtola molests the house of the crooked coin. I don't think that's what happens in the story. Mentions the house of the crooked coin. She talks about how another side of the world unlocked or something, but shrugs it off. Assuming the other side of the world is strictly limited to the 3 great continents, this may be a very large clue. This is also when select few started getting those strange messages.
They do something weird with the crooked coin thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it is another Allegan thing, and it's very powerful.
Yeah. Are they now referencing to... Because we had this weird idea that if the Allegans were able to open portals to other shards, what would stop them from colonizing other shards, like conquering other shards, because they got, well, TLDR of the Allegan Empire. They grew through the 3 great continents, and then their emperor died, and they just enjoyed a life of just peace and opulence for like, I don't know, 153, I can't remember how long.
Best time to be born.
Yeah, basically during that time. But then at the end of it, they grew so complacent and everything started deteriorating. People didn't bother to do stuff. They didn't bother like getting an education. Everything just collapsed because they felt so nice. Everything's so good. There's no point in like doing anything anymore. And that's,
wish I could have that.
Yeah, and that's when Amon was like, okay, well, you know what we have to do? We have to resurrect the first emperor of the Allegan Empire, and I'm sure he's gonna make everything better. And so they did.
Only option.
And he's like, okay, I'm back. What's happened? And Amon's like, everyone's complacent. Everything's bad. We're bored. And he's like, okay, you know what? You know what we need to do? We need to conquer some more. Let's take Mericidia. Let's go south. And that's how they took Mericidia. And after that, they had the Crystal Tower. It can open portals to other dimensions, other shards. What would stop them from going to another shard and basically repeat what they've done on Hydaelyn, on the source, and build another Crystal Tower and use that as a beacon? It's basically a giant aetheryte, if you think about it, the Crystal Tower. So that's the theory. But what if there's another Crystal Tower on the first shard, and we can teleport freely between them?
Do you think that's where like there's like refugees of Alec there? Because the ones on Hydaelyn got destroyed by the earthquake.
And that those are the people that want to return.
Yeah.
That's a theory. That's another one.
Allegans are coming back.
That's why they
They're
want
not
us to
dead people.
Throw wide the gates that we may pass. They're like, fuck, everyone. We want to go home. Now we're definitely just derailing. Now we're just making another weird theory that makes no sense. Anyways, Seraph Yumia says Twin Dooms, 2 spires on the tower, which was what we just talked about. Yeah. The 2 towers.
Like Lord of the Rings.
Tessa Jallo says there might be merit in comparing that area in the Shadowbringers trailer with the lake in 1.0's trailer in which he fought the Morble. It could be the same spot, which is what I thought too. That is, by the way, that is pre-Silvertear Skies, Battle of Silvertear Skies, Mordona. Which is why it looks, different. That could be something, actually. Because that is Mordona, but it's before it got fucked up. I mean, it still looked a bit weird. It's not now in the trailer. It still looks weird. It's lusher in 1.0 pre Silvertear Skies. Like it has like full trees and like you don't see that in that area in the trailer. I'm still interested to know where it is though. I can't tell where it is.
I don't know where could that be? Like those, because it's the crystals there that really throw me off.
Yeah.
Because you've never seen anything like in that weird formation.
Yeah. There's last comment here from Dreaded One. The only problem is the Crystal Tower was optional content. It's possible to get to Shadowbringers without having dealt with it at all. Now,
should make it an entry requirement.
It's important here to note that even though it's optional content, the Crystal Tower is canon to the story. Like, Crystal Tower is in Mordona. It is there during a very specific scene. I'm not going to spoil anything, but there's like a scene where there's a grave, and you see the Crystal Tower in the background. Like, Crystal Tower is established lore. It is there. So what I'm thinking is that if this is the case, that Crystal Tower is going to play a big part, we're going to get an Alice Heavensward situation where it'll reflect quest progression in the cutscene. So let's say you meet Graha. Graha is like, okay, and one of two things will happen. He'll either recognize you and sort of just quickly recap what you've done together, or if you haven't done Crystal Tower, he'll give you a quick rundown of what's gone down.
Mm-hmm.
That is possible. They did that with LSA. So, and they did streamline the Crystal Tower quest. It's very easy to unlock now, which is
thankfully
also suspicious.
What's the pain?
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like everything's pointing at Crystal Tower now, which is so strange because like 2 weeks ago I had no idea that Crystal Tower was going to play any part of anything. I knew that Crystal Tower was being mentioned a lot and that was suspicious. I think we even mentioned it on the podcast. Like, isn't it weird that they keep like they're talking about Crystal Tower in Eureka? But now it kind of just makes sense. I thought they mentioned Crystal Tower in Eureka because it's called Eureka. It's a Final Fantasy III reference, and Crystal Tower and Eureka sort of they fit together. But now it seems it might be something else. They might have primed us for this to just make sure that we are like have Crystal Tower in the back of our minds.
Friendly reminder: Crystal Tower is there, guys.
Yeah, exactly. And also, mentioning Grahatia as well. Like a second reminder, Grahatia was a guy that you met once. Might want to remember him some more. Right, should we read some MogMail? We're running over time. It's fine. We have nothing to do in the post show anyway. Okay.
Yeah, let's go for it.
Here's some MogMail. Do you want me to play the intro?
Yeah.
Okay, you're not getting MogMail.
Mail.
You're not getting MogMail. Yeah, that's right. It's MogMail time. Our first MogMail coming in here from none other than... is it from... Let's see if I'm getting the right one. Georgi from Gobby Dataland. Greetings, Lukiel and Rollo. Mala too, I guess. Do we still need hard mode dungeons? Each expansion we've gotten less and less of them. From 10 in Realm Reborn to 5 in Heavensward, and now only 2 in Shadowbringers. Sorry, Stormblood. We've been talking about Shadowbringers too much. Regarding gameplay, I don't particularly recall any of them to be all that innovative or memorable. Often the only thing interesting about them is the story, and even that's inconsistent. While some provide interesting insight into the world of Eorzea, such as Samtara Hard Mode and Fractal Hard, there are also those that feel as though they don't really add anything important at all, like Wanderer's Palace or Hullbreaker Hard. I understand functionally why they exist, to fill out the expert roulette, without requiring all the resources necessary for an entirely new dungeon. However, I don't really feel as if the Stormblood expert roulette would have been all that worse without Fractal and Arboretum Hard. Both these dungeons were far less interesting than the dungeons that accompanied them in Hellslid and the Burn. Could the resources required for hard mode dungeons be better spent on other things such as more trials, raid fights, or something else entirely? Thanks always for the podcast and the streams. Thank you, Georgi, and you're welcome. Interesting. Do we need the hard mode dungeons anymore? Or at all?
I just really like going back to them, though. That's the thing.
It's always been... Like, we all know that the hard mode dungeons are just filler. They're just they're padding the expert roulette.
Some of them have a little bit of story.
Yeah, less and less, though, huh? It's like less...
the ones we got in Stormblood weren't that bad. I really like Aethochemical Research for
that was
whatever that one is. That was really good.
Yeah, that was nice. There's a few.
It's so bizarre to go back there.
I liked Amdapur Hard. Amdapur Hard actually provided some lore as well.
Yeah.
So there's some of them that are good. I would prefer more unique dungeons. But it's nice sometimes it's just fun to revisit an old dungeon in a new form, in a new way. Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna probably make a lot of people upset, but I never liked Brayflux Hard. But listen, the reason people like Brayflux Hard is because it's a shorter version of Brayflux, which was an incredibly long and tedious dungeon, right? That's why people like, I love Brayflux Hard. It's so short. Yeah, It is. It is very short. It's a short version of a really long dungeon. But I wouldn't say that Brave Flock's Heart is a good dungeon. If you really look at it, like it's.
I like the last boss.
I like the cheese plot.
I mean,
I'll be honest.
I'm just a fan of
the Illuminati stealing cheese. That's you can't make that shit up. Yes, Roland.
I just think remixed dungeons are fun. Like like the idea is like okay, it's same dungeon, just it's slightly different. Like I think that's a fun thing.
Yeah.
But sometimes you'll go in the normal dungeon and you'll go to the right path, but in the hard mode you'll go to the left path and it'll be new.
I like those.
Yeah.
Those are cool. But then you get shit like Hullbreaker Hard. Let's be real, no one likes that dungeon.
Hullbreaker Hard was the single greatest dungeon.
You're just trolling now. Mala, I've never heard Mala more salty of a dungeon ever than when he first did Hullbreaker Hard. Because you really didn't
final
like that.
boss.
It's the worst
cool.
boss.
Yeah.
The what?
I like the final boss.
Did you like the first one?
Mistbeard?
Remember the ants?
The slug?
Oh, before that, the people you just fight, and then it ends.
Yeah, you just fight some people.
Yeah, I mean,
so bad.
Yeah,
but actually, yeah, the Emir and Mistbeard were actually kind of decent.
Yeah. He also mentions Wondrous Palace Hard, which really doesn't serve any lore for the main story or anything, but it's its own little self-contained. I just like the fact that we're saving tomberries. Like we were killing them previously, and now we're saving them. So it's a mixed bag. Again, I would love more unique dungeons, but
yes,
because we're getting. What is the patch schedule now anyway?
2-3-2-3-2-3.
2-3. So 2 is one unique and one hard mode, and then 3 is one unique and 2 hard modes. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm. Or is that right?
No, it's not that anymore. It's one.
It's 1-2.
1-2 now.
1-2, 1-2. Oh yeah,
One,
sorry,
two,
yeah.
one,
It
two
used to
now.
be 2-3. Now it's 1-2.
You're thinking about Heaven's Word now.
Yes.
So we're getting one normal, and then we get one normal and one hard mode. Sorry, normal. I say normal. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Unique.
Yeah,
unique.
Yeah, it's. I think here to stay is fine with me.
Yeah, I feel like they've done a pretty decent job on most of them, but there are hard mode dungeons that I don't like Brave Flocks, which I feel like doesn't really add anything to anything, and Hullbreaker Hard. Okay, thank you, Georgi, for that.
Thank you, buddy.
Yes.
These are very long.
They are, but we've got time to film.
Okay, we have. Okay, well, we should be going into a post show, but okay, let's take another one. This one is from Moon Bunny Chan from Balmung.
Yeah.
I've completed a few Eureka weapons now, and so I've been reflecting on my time here. I have to say that although it's far from perfect or has had more than a few bumps along the way, I quite like it. Or rather, I suppose I should say that I'm glad that something like it exists. I'm not a raider. 14 for me is much more of a social experience than anything. It's how I de-stress and decompress after work. It probably sounds strange to some people, but there are a lot of times I want to be in the game, but don't necessarily want the feeling of commitment that running a dungeon or other content brings. Oftentimes we'd end up Moogle dancing over someone playing dead on the FC lawn while talking in Discord. Could we have just done the Discord part? Probably, but there's something about having your friends' avatars there that adds an extra layer. I like having something like Eureka we can do, something where I feel like I'm making progress towards things but can come and go, get up to make a snack, take a break for a spell, and not have to have all my focus on perfectly executing mechanics. Now instead of dancing on the lawn, we'll be prepping NMs. I've heard the shout chat referred to as the worst, but it too I have, for the most part, enjoyed. It's one of the few places where I've felt like everyone else around me is in fact another human being. It's made me laugh more than it's made me cringe. It's not that I don't enjoy Dungeons and Trials, I'm just glad for an alternative for us to go sometimes. Something more low-key. I'm glad I have an option other than running Expert over and over to cap on tomes. I really hope they add something of a similar nature in the future, maybe just without putting mandatory quest locations in areas of certain death and no hope of rescue, and I hope to never see a sleeping dragon again. Woo!
Yeah,
Oh,
for sure.
Thank you, Moon Bunny Chan.
Thank you.
interesting. Yeah, I kind of agree with everything that's being said here.
Pretty much.
14 is now, to me as well, more of like a social experience. And it's,
I mean, it's an MMO. That's part of it.
Yeah. And being in Eureka is way different than having to do like an expert roulette. First of all, an expert roulette is over in like 15 minutes, and that's it. But you also have to kind of be there. You have to be present. You have to like focus a little bit sometimes, because it is current content, at least in an expert roulette. I agree with the Eureka thing, that you feel like you're in a living world, because there are people coming and going, people talking in shout chat, running around asking for party and all that, and you form parties. And you can
it's what
relax.
The overworld should be, really.
Yeah, kind of, yeah. It's a very laid-back atmosphere in Eureka. And you don't really have to... You can, and like as I said, you can just get up and go, like, I'll be back in, like, 5 minutes. I gotta go shit or whatever. And it's fine.
I'm prepping for the NM and I'm helping kill the mobs, and then I think, I just need to go grab a drink.
Yeah.
I run back to the pack, go and get a drink, run back out when I'm back and start killing again. I don't have to... in an expert roulette, if I'm in the boss fight, I can't just walk away.
Right, exactly.
I'm in a raid.
Yeah.
So I agree that it's nice in that way.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's totally valid in having that kind of like experience with Eureka. Like, this is where you go to hang out with your friends or whatever.
Yeah.
But for me, it feels like I can only do that if I'm talking to somebody or doing it on stream or hanging out with friends, because it's not engaging enough for me to like go in there by myself and do some mild grinding.
Yeah. So it's quite lonely sometimes.
Yeah,
it can.
And I like the idea. I like the idea of Eureka. I really do. Like functionally, for the most part, I think it's a good thing, and I hope it's better in its second iteration. Because I'd like to have that more like the experience. Like, I'm just going in there with my friends and hanging out sometimes. Not being as frustrated with the systems I don't like. Or stuff like that. Yeah. That's just my humble onion.
I don't know. I sometimes it's lonely being not being with friends in Eureka, but sometimes I find it oddly like relaxing too. Like I can be like, okay, I'll just do this on my own, and you're just doing it alone. But I can't never be there for a very long time, because I'll be like, ugh, it's boring now. I'm alone.
After one lockout, I'm just like,
but it is very fun going with friends. It's very fun. It's not what I'm going for. It's not like it's extremely fun, but it's very like laid back, and there's like
it's just like, you just have a chat, but you're also sort of progressing in the background.
Yeah, because you still have a goal that you're working on, but you can work on it with more of a laid back attitude.
Yeah. I think in the neck. No, go on.
Sure. It's like it's a game. It's a game mode you do to chat with your friends and catch up, like playing Overwatch with your friends or something.
Yeah,
exactly.
Like I play that stuff so I can chat with my friends.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All they need to do next time is put in a way of doing it solo without it being obnoxiously difficult.
Yeah.
And it'll be fine.
Yeah. I don't think they're going to do that, though, because I feel like Eureka... Remember when they launched Eureka? Like, you can do this solo.
Yeah, and you really can't.
Oof. That was a lot of BS.
They kind of walked back on that pretty quickly.
I mean, you can chain mobs solo, I guess, but...
You can, but good luck. It's going to take a while. I know some people do it, and you are insane, but whatever floats your boat. It is possible, but it's going to take forever for you to, like, progress. I think we mostly agree with what Moon Bunny said. Thank you for the MogMail. And it'll be interesting to see what the Eureka for Shadowbringers is going to be, like the system, because we know it's coming, and we shall see. I wonder if we didn't talk about that. I wonder if they'll show that, or at least show any artwork or anything about that in the keynote or the live letter, because they did that with Stormblood. With Eureka, remember when they showed that cloud, like sea of clouds? Yeah. But yeah, it's we'll see. I'm looking forward to more news on that as well. It'd be nice to get the relic stuff like earlier, in the game than what we did with Eureka, because Eureka came in like 4.25. 4.25, yeah. It was supposed to be there at launch.
Content is, for a lot of people who focus on Relics, so they had nothing to do for like 2 patches.
Yeah,
that's pretty bad.
Yeah. Okay. I think with that we've come to the end of the main show. There will be a slightly reduced post show because we've gone a little bit over time. But if you're watching live, post show will commence shortly. Thank you for watching. Remember to follow us on Twitter at SpeakersXIV, twitch.tv/SpeakersViolin, youtube.com/SpeakersXIV, !Discord in chat if you want to join our Discord server. And remember to send us MogMail at speakersxiv.com/MogMail. See you in the post show if you're watching live. Goodbye.
See you, lads. Bye.